What's up? Gotta fix that
Good
mic.
morning, Derek.
Morning. How do you uh how do you guys script out your videos? I was just doing one. I do mine on note cards. I like 3x5, whatever they are, and I label them in the corner 1, 2, 3. So if they get out of order, I know what the order is. I know that about 10 note cards will get me about 60 seconds a minute, as long as like there aren't too many words on each note card, and each note card is kind of like a sentence, or maybe not even a full, maybe to a comma, and then the next one is a comma or whatever, maybe like 10, up to 10 words on the card, maybe. Do you guys script it all, or do you just do stuff?
Well, I have not even been doing videos for the last several months. We've had so much going on. But when I do some videos or reels, I guess it depends on what it is. Sometimes it's scripted and I try to prop something up, but also try to just wing it the best I can. That usually works out better for me.
Yeah, I guess it depends what it is too, and how
Correct.
succinct you feel you need to be or not be. Yeah, I usually, if I do wing it, I end up saying it a bunch of times, and you just kind of keep going, keep going, take until the last one is good, and then keep going or
Yeah, it
whatever.
definitely depends on what it is and how quickly, if I'm like doing like like I'm mouthing whatever the voice is. If I can pick it up really quickly and I'm like, okay, I got it. Otherwise, I do kind of write it down. But note cards would make more sense because there's times I've written like if it's fairly long or it's some kind of back and forth, I put on a paper and I'll like prop it up somehow, and then it's like you have to follow where you're at, and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know, I reread that line twice or I skipped a line or something, but note cards would probably make more sense.
Yeah, it works pretty good. I haven't been a stack like when I do the video, I usually do it at a desk or something. It's harder if I'm doing it out and about, but at a desk, no cards are there in a full stack, so I just see the one, and I kind of look at the video, and I have it right below it out of view. So it's short enough. Each card you can definitely memorize on the spot. Suspended, don't appeal it. That's my first card for today's video that I'm making. And then I just kind of freeze where I am when I stop saying it. I reach down, throw that card away to reveal the next card. Then I look down, read it. Then I look back at the camera, say the line, and usually it takes one or two because it's pretty easy. And if you read through it a few times, it's definitely easy. And then again, flip it, next one. And then when you edit it, it's pretty easy because you can just look for the sound to go up, and you can just cut all the parts without the sound out real quick, and then it pieces everything together fairly quick, and then you can fine tune it or whatever from there. But yeah, I found that that's pretty good. And the thing I love is I figured out the how many cards make a time an amount of time, the 60 seconds or whatever, which is what I'm usually trying to hit. So if I'm at like 12, 13 cards, I'm like, son of a, I'm gonna have to cut something out because I think YouTube is still 60 seconds max, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But I think it is. So that's the one that, especially now, I'm going to try. I'm going to be doing more on YouTube. So that matters a lot more. Oh, all right. What time is it? 5 after. I don't have any kind of program. I'll still reset the room and open it up and do all the stuff. But then it'll probably just be a AMA, really. And then if anybody has questions, great. If not, that's great too. Let everybody go work. All right. Where's my notes? Oh yeah, I need to mod a few people. I'm just gonna mod everybody. How about that? I think that's everybody up here. All right, cool. Thanks for joining today. You're in the Google for Real Estate House on Clubhouse. If you're here live on Clubhouse, we're here live on Clubhouse every Wednesday, 9 to 10. We'd like you to join us if you're not, if you're listening later. I'm Derek Bixler, commercial and residential real estate agent of 18 years, outdoor adventure sportsman, and Google marketing geek. In this room, we talk about how to dominate Google local search and get business from our Google business profiles, as well as discuss other Google marketing tools and other productivity tools, and sometimes marketing that has nothing to do with Google from time to time. Replays are available at the link in the chat on my website. free reign there to get everything. If there's a video that goes along with it, that's in there. If there's a template, like I did the income and expense analysis room, the video screen share is in there along with the template for the spreadsheet and all that kind of stuff. So everything is in there on that replays site. And they're available on Clubhouse for 7 days until the next room. Please come up on stage if you're here with us live. You don't have to say anything, but you are welcome to say something if you want to. uh, Interaction is encouraged, or question, or yeah, today especially because I have nothing planned, so it's going to be questions or crickets today. That's what I should have put in the title: questions or crickets. So come up on stage, ask questions, or if you're an expert in something, please chime in and share your experiences or whatever. Or even if you're not an expert, if you have an experience with something, because that's how I learn stuff too. Like with Denise, when you've all heard us talk about her and the help community and all the things, and she did her live video verification with Google, and I don't get to do that. I can't do that for clients, and video verifications I can't do for clients. There's a lot of stuff that I can't personally do for clients when it comes to especially the verification stuff. So I can't see it or experience it. So I rely on others to tell me how things went, which Denise was awesome about. So uh, sharing experiences is definitely encouraged. And sometimes there are things out there that exist in some accounts, or it's a new thing, or every day almost I learn something, or I'm in a dashboard. I'm like, oh, that's new. They changed the layout of that. Or sometimes it's a major change. Sometimes it's a tiny change that's not really worth talking about. But interact if you want to, please. And then links in the chat if you're here live on Clubhouse. Replays link, like I said, the podcast links, Spotify, Apple. You can listen to all the stuff on there as well. And the Discovery Call link is up at the top and in the chat too if you need help with anything after we talk. So I don't have any news or anything. I was planning on not really doing the room today, but here I am doing it anyway. So I don't have any news other than last 2 weeks I've been talking about suspensions being up and verifications being tough, scrutinization of uh, profiles being tough. We talked about the documentation needed to do all the stuff. I'm doing a video today on, you heard my first card is suspended, don't appeal it. Here's why, dot, dot, dot. Uh, Suspensions, I've had two more since last room on profiles that I manage. Well, I don't actively, they don't pay me to manage it. I'm just still manager on their profile from doing work in the past. But, and both of those, I believe, well, I know they were unverified because of a change that they made. We already knew that. Both of them were supposed to be, well, the one kind of just fell off the planet and didn't do anything. And I think that just timed out. If you're unverified for some amount of time, then you get suspended. And then it's even harder to get back. The other person, they more recently got unverified. I haven't heard. I coached that person on how to do the verification, but I did not hear how it went. And I don't know if they tried it and then it got suspended, or if they did not try it and they've just been unverified for so long that they got suspended. Um, and again, that person didn't pay me to do that stuff, so that's why I'm not keeping tabs on it. Otherwise, I would be keeping more tabs on it. But I did see it come in suspended a couple days ago. I was like, oh no, that's not good. So I probably will reach out to that person. But if you ain't paying me, I'm not reaching out right away, or it's not top of the list. Paying clients or are top of the list. But anyway, so suspensions are still up. Scrutinization of profiles is still up. Again, two suspensions this week. In the past, that wouldn't really be happening, or I didn't see it happen a lot. So really crucial now more than ever to make sure you have all your documentation that we talked about. If you need to reference the last two episodes, maybe three episodes, definitely the last two, all the documentation and proof you need to provide to Google if ever you get unverified or suspended, and the correct steps to take and all that stuff. So it's good as a good business practice to have all that stuff sitting in a file for if and when that happens with Google. And you could always pull it all together when it happens too, but it's nice to have it ready and know what you're dealing with. So, and if you look over the list, you might say, well, I don't have that. I'm calling myself Team Bixler, and that's not a real LLC, so I can't prove that. So I really shouldn't even be calling my Google Business Profile Team Bixler, or I need to create an LLC, or if I have an LLC and it's called Bixler Enterprises and I'm operating as Team Bixler, I need to get a DBA to Team Bixler so that if I ever get suspended or unverified, I can prove to Google all this stuff, name and location being the two primary things they want you to prove with all kinds of documentation. So scrutinization's still up, and keep an eye out, have all your stuff ready if you need it. So that's really all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Google Business Profile, local services ads, or otherwise digital marketing? Questions or crickets? I don't have any sound effects. I should have had a cricket sound ready. And if nobody does, that's totally fine too. I just won't add this to the Spotify if it's dead air.
Hey, Derek. Good morning. It's Denise in Greenville, South Carolina. I have a question for you.
Sure. Hello.
Um, I was actually speaking with somebody yesterday, and it's an individual who just became licensed, and we're going to meet to discuss the possibility of her joining the team. And she told me that she had spoken with a real estate agent who used to be in the business for many, many years, and gave her some advice on finding different agents in the area that she might want to talk to. And her suggestion was to Google real estate agents in Greenville, South Carolina, or whatever direction she gave her. And she said to me, and I did that, and you came up. And I was like, okay, that's great, but I don't think that I rank that high on Google in Greenville, South Carolina yet, being that we just got this back up and running. And I wanted to know, is there a way, like, would you just pull up like a private window? I forget what you really call it. Like if you wanted to Google something where it doesn't know that it's you, like pull up in the browser a private window and then Google it that way so you can see where you come up. How would you do that for yourself? How would you find ranking?
Yep. So people like me, I have a tool or two that I could use to check rankings and things. You can kind of teleport and pretend you are anywhere on the planet at your doorstep or in California or somewhere and search for it and figure it out. But just I also like the method of just an incognito window or even not an incognito. Like Google does know it's you, knows you manage it and stuff, but I don't, it doesn't impact it all that much. You will see all your management stuff at the top. Like if you Google, you might, if it realizes that you should be seeing your dashboard or something, you might see some gobbledygook at the top, but right below that is going to be the search results as other people would see it for the most part. So you wouldn't necessarily have to use incognito, but yes, incognito window would generally, and is what you were talking about, to use. Um, it would make sense that you would show up for people. So this person was out of your area, right?
Oh no, she actually lives in Greenville. She's local.
Gotcha. Do you know if she typed in Greenville Realtor or just Realtor or Realtor near me?
Well, I don't, and that's a great question. And I'm meeting with her tomorrow morning, so I think I'm going to ask her that question because I would love to know.
Yeah, because well, number one, people search or people shop. So you don't necessarily have to be in the top three pack for people to pick you. People will click see more. Studies show that like a good half of the people or so go and they search and they pick somebody that's down. And if you're the kind of face or person that they resonate with, they could pick you out of other people. Um, Yours, we're not calling out any more Greenville Realtor in your name. Uh, so that I was going to go to and say would have an influence on it, but that wouldn't do it. She's probably in close proximity somewhat to you, so you were in the results somehow. Um, and you have 20 some reviews, right? Am I right there?
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
pulling
I did
yours up.
stockpile quite a few in the early days before I got suspended or
Yeah,
unverified
yeah.
or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
So you're at 24. Um, which isn't bad, and you've gotten that 24 consistently since you started the profile, and one every week or a couple every week or whatever. So recency does can override numbers, because there are some when I pull it up, there's 759, 1.1K, 256 reviews. Um, so there are ones with lots when I pull it up. However, some people also don't like a super high review. That reeks of like some giant organization that I don't want to deal with, because I'm just going to be another number, which is another reason why people do shop, just because people like to shop, but also they like to look at the other people and see what else is out there and look at people's faces and whatnot. Um, I would guess that at the time of searching, which she was somewhat near your verification, your actual location, which would help you rank a little bit better. Well, and then also your recency of your reviews consistently. Even if somebody else has a ton of reviews and more than you, if you're getting a couple a week consistently over a few months, that's pretty good. Even a big organization, that's not the easiest thing to do unless you're like really big and really hounding people for reviews or whatever, which some people are. But um, yeah, that's great. It's definitely a good sign. I just searched it. If somebody's outside of your area, it will definitely make a difference, because if somebody types in the word Greenville, South Carolina realtor, if you the closest people to the center, the city center, what Google defines as the city center, are the ones that are going to rank the best as far as a location determination goes. So if somebody in California searches realtor in Greenville, South Carolina, the businesses that are verified using a location to the center of the Google defined area are the ones that would rank better, assuming all their stuff is good, they have good reviews, yada yada. That's how the location ranking would go. So somebody outside of the area, you would obviously or should outrank people that are just outside the city limits or not exactly defined as in Greenville. So being in Greenville proper, or whatever city you're trying to rank in, if I was trying to dominate Carlisle and my verification address was not actually in Carlisle or what Google defines as Carlisle, then that would hurt me for people searching for a Carlisle realtor. And then locally, it's a proximity thing. If they're close to you, you'll be further up in the results. So I would guess that your recency, and possibly, was this just after you got reinstated?
Well, I spoke with her yesterday. I'm not sure if she just Googled it yesterday or just recently, like within the past couple of days. I'll find out more tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Yeah, and sometimes just because something's new or you just got reinstated, so like the system kind of like a new profile or a new ad, it seems like they don't say they do it, but it seems like they kind of boost people right at the beginning when something's new to kind of get you to like it and hang on. And stay in. So I don't. That might have you're kind of new, and they gave you brownie points because everything's fully super verified right now, and then it might die down. But if ever you want to check actual rankings, we could use tools and stuff. But I'd say usually that's not worth doing till you're at the 50-ish reviews, probably. And it depends how hardcore you are. If you could just gauge it by the calls you get. Am I starting to get a call a month or a couple calls here and there? Usually calls start happening if you're looking in your performance tab around the thousands, 1,000, 2,000 views per. It's going to show you the last 6 months when you click on the performance tab. By default, last 6 months. I would just leave it as at that unless you want to look into it deeper. But if you look at the views count, not the interactions count, the views count, typically you're in the at least 1,000, couple thousand, few thousand before you start getting a random call here and there just out of the blue. And then the higher you get, the more it happens. Like I'm at 6,600, I think, and it was like 7,700 up until a month or two ago. But 6,600, and my calls to date for this year, money calls that did turn into money or could have, but I dropped the ball or lost out on it or whatever, is 2.3 calls per month, to give you some kind of idea. But if you're trying to figure out when am I going to start getting calls, if you look in your performance tab and your views are at like 200 or 300, probably not going to get any calls yet, I would guess, maybe here and there. But get up into the thousands, you should be getting a call here and there, probably. Um, but yeah, it shows that you're on the right track for sure. A call is the best. Even spam calls. I put a video out there about spam calls. Even spam calls are actually kind of a good sign. It means you're out there enough for spammers to now be targeting you. You're up in the rankings that you're showing up and people, you're a target now. So even spam or garbage calls are a good sign that you're out there and people are seeing you, including spammers. I get a call literally every, it feels like two times. It's got to be a couple times an hour of spammers, and I just answer every call. If it's silent for 3 seconds, that means it's a dialer, and I hang up. But it's Google, so got to pick the thing up every single time, or a lead will be lost. I did get a listing from local services ads last week. Actually, haven't gotten one from there for a while. It's not a huge listing. Well, maybe not. Maybe it is. The listing that I signed is a rental, kind of crappy, probably the worst town around here. Probably we're listing it at what 125. So not the greatest, but it's an investor. There's a tenant in there. Part of the reason why it kind of sucks. I'm not even going to post it on social media because they're not. They were like one of the ones where the people were like, I'm just going to lay on the couch. We told her to get off the couch for the pictures. The landlord did, and she just pulled a blanket over and said, "Dude, go ahead." And I was like, "No, guys, you need to just walk outside, lazy ass." But anyway, so it's one of those where it's definitely an investor special, and I'm not going to be promoting it. Anyhow, it's a listing. Called me. I pretty much went over there and listed it. And he also has a 5 unit with a laundromat and some other units, and I'm analyzing the 5 unit with a laundromat for him as soon as he sends me his Schedule C, which is people always have a hard time supplying the information for commercial properties that I need to properly analyze it. But local services ads are still working, and I see calls coming in from other people. So anyway, I got off track there, I guess. Keep doing what you're doing, Denise. That it's working, obviously, and you're a machine as far as getting reviews go. It's pretty fast what you did there to get up to 24. Anybody else
Thanks,
have any
Derek.
questions, comments? Yeah.
Thank you.
Questions, comments, issues?
Hey, Derek, it's Maria from Boston. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. I don't really have a question, but I'm looking for an audit for my site. Doesn't have to be right now, but I need my site to be audited. Is this?
Website?
Yeah, my Google site. Yes.
Your Google business profile or your website?
My Google business profile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. Schedule a
Yeah.
discovery call. I could do it for you. I mean, I could tell you right now. So I used to do audits, a formal audit for people. I used to do it for free, but then I found like the audit I do is pretty thorough. Usually takes a couple hours. And then I'm also giving people pretty much a playbook to go do it yourself and itemize, like search a video on how to do this or whatever. So then I ended up having to charge for the audit. And the amount that I have to charge for the audit, it's kind of like it's a waste of time and money for everybody because by the time you spend money on that, and then most 99.9% of people do need like a full overhaul anyway, even if you have done a few things already. I'm a professional and I would redo it and do it the right way. And I'm still going to go through all the settings, even if you have them set or whatever. So the audit just kind of became a waste of money and time for everybody, a wasted exercise. So I kind of skipped that. If you want to audit, I think I was charging 295 or 395. I think it was 295 for an audit, which then I would do, and then everybody would be like, "Yes, please do it for me." Um, and yeah, so I just got kind of away from it. So if you want it, we could. The easiest way to do an audit, probably the most cost effective with me anyway, would be to schedule an hour Zoom, or I use Google Meet right now, but a video call for an hour, and I can just run through and record it and say, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But then that becomes kind of cumbersome because you got to go back and pause the video. And for me to like itemize it in a written form, then that's more work. And now, I got to charge more for that, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of get the idea. Audit is kind of a waste of time, even for profiles that like I have my products, I have these things, everything you talk about, I feel like I do. I'm still going to go through all of it. It's still going to take pretty much the same amount of time to do everything. A lot of times it's like listing a house too. Like, I wish you would have called me before you redid the kitchen and painted and did all those things because I would have told you to do. Now we're going to have to redo everything because that is not how it should be done or whatever. So sometimes doing all the things is worse than just having a blank slate that I can rip through real fast and do all the things. But if ever, that's probably the most cost effective is an hour. If you want 30 minutes, I got to rip through it real fast, but you'll be confused as crap. So probably a 60-minute video call would be the most cost effective. And that you can find on my website on the prices tab. There's links for everything I offer, and you can schedule it and pay for it and all that stuff on there. Or just skip right to a done for you package, or the course would cost you the same amount as an hour with me, and is split up into all the tabs of the Google Business Profile, a video tutorial on each tab. There's no tests you have to pass. You can skip around if you wanted to. Today I want to do the product section, and next month I'm going to do the services section. You could do that. You have lifetime access. There's a bunch of bonuses in there and templates for stuff and all that kind of stuff in there. So that would be another route as well.
Okay, thanks. I'll schedule that. Yeah, I did. I had subscribed because I wasn't getting the emails at first, but then I had subscribed to the search bomb, and I got an email with the video, but for some reason I couldn't. It wasn't working. I don't know. It said no page available or something. But I'll look through it and I'll schedule a call.
I don't like links not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
so
be triple
happened.
checking my next email that goes out. Everything better go somewhere.
Yeah, I clicked
Yeah.
on the video link, and for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was me, but I clicked on it and it said no, no, nothing found or something. I don't know, but I'll look again and I'll schedule a call. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Anybody else? Questions? Issues? Nobody's suspended or unverified? And another reminder, real quick, I'll just end it if nobody has anything. But another reminder on the verification and suspension thing. One thing people do that pokes the beast a lot, other than changing your main settings, name, location, blah, 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 is in updates, people like to put their phone number in their signet in the caption, description, the written part, whatever you want to call that. They also like to put it in the image and stuff, and Google and website links outside of the learn more where you're supposed to put the link. They like to put all kind of spammy stuff in the caption itself. The phone number for sure, all that stuff is against policy and Google doesn't like it, but the phone number for sure, I forget what the name they call it. It's something like phone stuffing, or it might even be verbatim that, but something to that effect. They do not want your phone number in the description. It's already on your profile. People can already access it if they're looking at your products. There's a big call button right there all the time. So you don't need to put it there and be spammy. Google doesn't want it on there. So for sure in your updates, do not put your phone number or any kind of contact or spammy stuff. I wouldn't put it in the image or the description, because you'll get that email that says your post has been removed from Google, and you poke that beast enough times and you might, typically in the past it hasn't caused an unverification or suspension, but right now I'm pretty kind of nervous about everything and playing nice with Google. So definitely keep phone numbers out of that stuff and follow the posting policies and everything. Um, yeah, and if you need the policies, I've got a post out there, or you can just Google posting updates, Google business profile policies, and you can find them. Anything else? Got 31 minutes out of it. Look at that. All right. Cool. Thanks for everybody Jackie, you got something?
Hey, Derek, thank you so much for everything. I just wanted to say that I'm very, very excited that you're going to meet with one of my top agents today and help get him started. I think it's great that everybody certainly harnesses the power and that we've got you to help us along the way. So thank you, Derek, for everything that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you. And we'll get them set up. We're talking today. And then you can compete with each other, and that can be your gamification. You can crush each other. I always try to come up with somebody. Bobby Smith is ranking better than me, or I just even if somebody's not ranking better, if they're close to you and you don't like them, or you're good friends in the same office, you can kind of be like get a board that has reviews, check marks on it, and competitify it. Is that a word? Make it competitive,
Now it
gamify
is. Good googly competition. I like it. Good googly competition in the workplace.
it. Yeah, totally. And it's only going to help the brokerage itself too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Derek. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you. Mark, what's up? Just joining. Got a question, issue, anything?
No, but I did want to just I did want to share something how important Google is because I lost a client to someone who had more reviews than me. And I asked the client and they said you guys stacked up perfectly against one another. The deciding factor was he had quite a few more reviews than my 16. So I have a newfound passion to get reviews.
There you go. I like that sound bite. That's a great sound bite. And it totally. And you won't even, I don't know how much the other person had, but 16, I would say 25 is you might not outrank people and somebody might have 700 or 800 or 50 or 100 or whatever, but 25-ish, at least that's the number I've heard thrown around as the mental kind of, I trust this person. So if somebody's doing a branded search, typing your name in and they see the reviews, I think 25 would be your first number to shoot for, which isn't too bad. Seven, eight, nine more, which means you got to get probably 13 more or so because some won't show up. But yeah, that's for sure. Great soundbite and for sure true. And I think once you hit that 25, if you had 27 right now, I bet you would have got it because you would have just been, even if that other person had more, I bet you if it was just a little bit more, you probably would have gotten that. But great. Thanks for sharing that.
Hey, Mark, this is Denise. Can you post your link for your Google review in the chat here? And I'll be happy to go in today and post a review for you. And if you have the time to reciprocate for me, I could use a review this week too. So anybody else that I haven't done one for already, don't forget to post your link. Derek's great about getting that the recording of this out, and I always go back and try and go through to find anyone that I haven't done a review for already. I know there are some that maybe they hadn't posted, even though one was done, but I'm just happy to give it a shot for you and help you get that number up, and you can help me get mine up too. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'll figure out how to get that link in the chat.
I knew that was going to be the
Yeah,
next
let's
question.
walk them through it, Derek. Go for it.
If you're on your phone, Mark, you hopefully have Google Maps on your phone, and there should be a button that says Business in the main Explore, You, Contribute, in the main buttons. If you click the Business button, assuming you're logged in as the right email address that owns the business, it should expose the entire dashboard. And then you click Reviews, and of course, it's not giving me. It doesn't have the review request there at all now. Huh. Well, that's new as of. Is it not there at all? So I'm going to eat my words here, Mark. I'll tell you a different way, but yeah, there's no share button. There's no get more reviews. Yeah, if you scroll down separately, there used to be a button right there, but scroll down, there's a share profile all the way at the bottom. But that's just going to share your whole profile link, not the review request. Doesn't matter, I guess. So you can get it there on the business tab, find the share profile, or if you just go to your browser and search yourself and you get like your dashboard come up at the top, there's a get reviews. I would, once you get it, even if you can't get it right now for this chat, once you get your review request link, put it somewhere in your phone, or put it as a text shortcut, or make a bit.ly link for it, or do something so it's easily accessible, blah, blah, blah.
I'll find you, Mark. I'm going to Google you and I'll find you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Which will be even better Google juice for Mark, you searching him out and giving him a review. And yeah, and thanks Denise again for saying that. I didn't say that before. Review request links in the chat is encouraged. I didn't say that earlier, but giving a review, getting a review, some people do it almost every time, and it is for sure. I get one or two every week or every couple weeks or whatever. Sometimes the hardest thing is replying to the people. And Mark, I've given you one, I believe. Otherwise, I would give you another one. Anybody else with questions, issues, anything? All right. We came to the crickets part of questions or crickets. And I should have, while I was waiting there, I should have typed in crickets and got that sound effect. But anyway, thanks everybody for being here. We got 37 minutes out of the room. Sweet. Gives me something to email, and we did actually talk about some things, so that's good. Again, I keep harping on it. The last two full rooms were on this, and I've talked about it today at the beginning of the room. But again, be vigilant with your profiles. Do not poke the beast. If you get any ownership requests, respond to them within 3 days. Do not approve them. Make sure all your settings and everything you're doing on your profile are within policy and compliant. And if you plan to change your location or anything that's going to trigger a verification, you need to get all your stuff in line and ready before you do it. So thanks everybody for being here, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Jared.